Hi, I'm Scott Smith, author of Fixing America and the Financial Freedom Plan. And in this video, we're going to talk about basic income and how we can afford it. Today, basic income is a hot button. A lot of people look at it and they just tear their hair out saying they can't understand the proposal because how are we going to pay for it? Other people, they're adamant. Basic income is an essential part of the future. But it's true, we can't afford it under the current tax system. And that's the challenge. Under the current tax system, we already have a huge deficit. People are taxed to the max. And if you were to calculate the cost of basic income across the board for the entire population, it's enormous. Therefore, you get these proposals of half basic income. In other words, it's just for people with lower income. And the proposals are $500 a month for basic income, which really doesn't help all that much. And that's all because people do recognize economically we're constrained. Under the Financial Freedom Plan, though, all of those taxes go away. Income taxes, sales taxes, property taxes, they can all go away under the Financial Freedom Plan. So right off the bat, you're taking home more from your job because the taxes are there. You have more money for spending. Your taxes are lower. For a comparison, at $100,000, today you're paying around $40,000 in taxes. With the Financial Freedom Plan, you'd be paying $500 because all those taxes go away and they're replaced by a flow tax. A flow tax works simply because it taxes the entire flow of money. 99% of the flow of money occurs in the monetary economy. Only 1% is your wages in the material economy, and that's why taxes don't work today. You're taxing a tiny tax base instead of the monetary economy. At 0.5%, even though at $100,000 your taxes are only $500, we could afford to pay every citizen in the country, irregardless of whether they have a job or they're bringing $1 million a year home. Every citizen could receive $24,000 a year in basic income. What would $2,000 more a month per person, per citizen, adult citizen in your household mean to you? It's an enormous game changer. $24,000 a year basic income until you're 70, and then it would kick in at $30,000 a year. We could afford that under the Financial Freedom Plan and still have a multi-trillion-dollar surplus and pay off the national debt in 10 years. That's something we could do. So let's talk about what would the effect of basic income be. First of all, the obvious effect of having an extra $2,000 a month, it's a game changer. You have a lot more spending money. What does it do for small businesses? The challenge for most businesses in America is getting enough customers. The consumer is cash constrained, and putting extra money in the pockets of citizens across the board would cause a boom in business. It would be very healthy for the economy. It also changes a dynamic. Right now, because of the increasing cost of living, many people, about half of the workers out there, are not able to earn a living wage. It's shocking when you really dig into the statistics on it. The challenge, though, is if you go to the employees that hire them, is they can't afford to pay more. Everyone's strapped, and that's the conundrum we're in today. Basic income solves that. You add $24,000 to the wages people are making, and they're having a decent living. So basic income is actually essential, but it can only be financed with the Financial Freedom Plan. I'm not an advocate of basic income with today's taxes because it simply won't work. I am a strong advocate for basic income under the Financial Freedom Plan. I ask you to share this video, like it, and follow us, because in order to get the discussion about the Financial Freedom Plan basic income and the various things that we can have, we need to get this into mainstream media. And the only way that will happen is with larger followings, a lot of comments, and a lot of likes. Thank you.